resources for a fund to help with outreach and supports as large numbers of vulnerable people seek help at the ER. Reporting live, Caitlin Lee, City News.
City News Time, 11:38. The House of Commons has begun its first proceedings of 2023 with the economy, inflation, and healthcare top of mind. The rising cost of living and an expected recession are front and center. All eyes are on the budget, with the government hinting at more targeted inflation supports for struggling Canadians. The opposition Conservatives have hammered the feds on spending, while the finance minister looks at more belt-tightening. Now, a pending healthcare funding deal with the provinces is also on the horizon, with a first ministers' meeting set for next week. The NDP is requesting an emergency debate today to address some provinces expanding private options under the public health system. Now, Government House Leader Mark Holland says another issue for this spring is changes to the gun ban legislation, which has been criticized for going too far.
Weapons that are, used to do mass killings off the streets, and at the same time, we want to make sure that we don't interfere with those that have hunting as a way of life and a passion.
Also, be on the lookout for new legislation to better protect air passengers after the travel fiasco over the holidays. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
And the World Health Organization says COVID-19 is still an emergency that's not over yet.
After a Friday meeting of the Emergency Committee on COVID-19, the WHO Director General opened today's executive board meeting by revealing the recommendations and his decision on the threat posed by COVID-19.
The committee has advised me that, in its view, COVID-19 remains a global health emergency, and I agree.
He says health systems remain strained in many countries, and 170,000 people around the world died with COVID in just the past 8 weeks. However, the Director General adds there is no doubt the world is in a far better situation than a year ago when the Omicron wave was at its peak, and he remains hopeful that within the coming year, the world will transition to a new phase. The Public Health Agency of Canada has said the WHO designation will not affect its response to the virus. Alex Bloomfield, City News.
We will check the price of gas up next.
City News Time, 11:39.
Want to feel healthier this year? Why not go dry this February and support people affected by cancer? When you sign up for Dry Feb, you'll help the Canadian Cancer Society fund life-saving research and support services across the country. Sign up today at dryfeb.ca.
PC Optimum Points days are here. And what's better than points? More points. Spend $250 and get 25,000 points on us. Just open your PC Optimum app to load this offer. On now until February 1st only at Real Canadian Superstore. See flyer for details.
Now the gas price update. Enpro predicts no change at midnight. The price will hold at just under $1.51 a liter.
City News Time, 11:40.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.ca/Canada. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Citywide, 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ziprecruiter.ca/Canada. That's ziprecruiter.ca/Canada. ziprecruiter.ca/Canada.
City News Time, 11:41.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Let's check your drive with Craig Gear. This report is brought to you by Infinity Canada. So a couple of issues, like on the eastbound 401 now as you approach Islington and the collectors. Partially blocked right lane, looks like a stalled transport truck. Delays from about Dixon to the 400 expressing collectors. Watch out on the ramp to Morningside. We've got a right lane blocked on this ramp. So still with problems here on the westbound 409. We've got you closed at the 427, so no easy access to Pearson for now. This is for that vehicle rollover investigation and cleanup that's happening here. Delays once again on the westbound 409 as you approach the 427, unfortunately. Southbound 404 DVP filling in from approaching Shepherd and the collectors down towards the 401. DVP is in pretty good shape north and south, so that's good news. It hasn't started to slow just yet. On the eastbound QEW approaching third line, we've got a stalled transport partially in the right lane, the ramp lane here. It's mostly in the shoulder, so just watch out for it. Take on life in greater luxury with the all-new Infiniti QX60. Visit your local retailer or Infiniti.ca today. With the forecast, Jill Taylor.
City of Toronto has issued their extreme cold alert. Yeah, it's going to get a lot colder as we move through the week. Some lake effect flurries at times today are guaranteed high -2, -10 for the low. Will feel like -17 early tomorrow. Sun and cloud and a chance of flurries for Tuesday with a high just -6. For today, the guaranteed high -2.
Well, right now in downtown Toronto, we've got overcast conditions. Temperature out there right now at -4, but factor in the wind, feels more like -8. City News Time, 11:43.
And now the Dynamic Funds Market Minute live to the Business Center. Here's Chris McCusker. Chris?
Asher, arrows pointing down, and still the NASDAQ is the worst performer. It's down 1.2%. The S&P is lower by 26, and the Dow is down 98. Now, the Dow is trying a 7th straight winning day, and at one point today, it was looking at a modest gain. The TSX right now is lower by 47, 20,667. We are going to get that interest rate announcement in the U.S. on Wednesday, and we are likely to see a 1/4 point hike. Gold futures right now down by $6, $19.39. Oil has been all over the place, so right now it's down 68 cents to $79 a barrel. And our loonie right now is lower by 1/4 cent, 74.90 cents U.S. At the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
Concerned about the risk of inflation? A financial advisor can help. See why advice matters. Now more than ever. Visit dynamic.ca/advice to learn more.
Bush Chalet is home to Canada's favorite rotisserie chicken. Our always fresh, mouth-watering chicken is slow roasted over an open flame to tender, juicy perfection. Until February 26th, enjoy our winter warm-up bundle. Get a quarter chicken dinner with your choice of sides, our signature chalet sauce, and a cup of delicious, creamy soup loaded with chunky potatoes, bacon, and our famous rotisserie chicken. All for only $15.99 when you dine in. White meat, taxes, and upgrades of sides and beverages extra at participating Bush Chalet locations.
It's a brand new year. Are you ready to face it with a smile? Your oral health is important to your overall health, and no one knows this better than the dentist at 123dentist.com. That's why with over 50 local neighborhood clinics in and around the GTHA, 123 Dentist is the best way to find a dentist you can trust. So visit 123dentist.com and get to know why our motto is "We'll make you smile." 123dentist.com.
Watch, listen, connect. This is City News 680. Everywhere.
It's overcast and -4 on our way up to a guaranteed high of -2. Good morning. I'm Asher Vaughn.
And I'm Steve Roberts. Here are the top stories right now.
Ontario's 28th Lieutenant Governor David Onley is being honored in a state funeral at York Minster Baptist Church in Midtown. His sons, Premier Ford, and his successor, Elizabeth Dowdeswell, have all delivered remarks. Books of condolence are now available for the public to pay their respects to former Mississauga Mayor Hazel McCallion, who died at the age of 101 following a battle with pancreatic cancer. And the World Health Organization has determined that COVID-19 still represents a global health emergency. Time for sports. Here's Justin Morissette.
Breaking news earlier this hour that one of the greatest players in NHL history has passed away at age 84. Bobby Hull, whose 23-year pro career saw him lift the Stanley Cup with Chicago back in 1961, was the first player ever in the NHL to score more than 50 goals in a single season, a goal-scoring touch that he no doubt passed down to his son Brett. Hull is partly responsible for the increased leverage and power that players hold today in contract negotiations, defecting to the Winnipeg Jets of the WHA in 1972 in defiance of the stranglehold teams once held over their on-ice talent. His $1 million payday that season looks like couch change in today's game, but was the first domino to fall in the escalation of player salaries to what we now see today. In hoops, the Raptors are in Phoenix tonight to take on the Suns, who will be without Devin Booker, Landry Shamet, and Cameron Payne tonight, all out with injury. The Raps have a pair of injuries of their own, with OG Anunoby and Delano Banton expected to sit tonight. The Raptors 2-1 so far on their 7-game Western Conference road trip. Sports at 15:45 past every hour, or anytime online at sportsnet.ca.
3 key severance pay facts you must know with Lior Samfiru from employmentlawyer.ca.
Fact number 1. A full severance package isn't just 1 or 2 weeks per year of service. It can be as much as 24 months' pay. Fact number 2. You don't have to accept the severance offer on the spot or by your employer's deadline. Thirdly, You're a likely owed severance if you're laid off, fired for cause, or even a contractor. When you lose your job, don't settle for what your employer wants to pay you. Get what the law says you should have. My experienced team has helped tens of thousands of employees get their compensation when they were wrongfully dismissed. Before you accept any severance package, call me and discover why my employment law firm is the most positively reviewed firm in Canada.
Contact employment lawyer Lior Samfiru today. Get the advice you need and the compensation you deserve. Visit employmentlawyer.ca. That's employmentlawyer.ca.
It's 11:48. A head-on crash up in Whitchurch, Stouffville has sent 3 people to hospital. Emergency crews were called to the Bloomington and 9th Line area at around 6:30 this morning. 3 of the victims suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Bloomington is expected to remain closed between 9th Line and Green Gables Road for most of the morning. A man's been arrested following a 2-vehicle crash involving a police cruiser in Brampton. It happened just after 3 this morning at Rutherford and Orenda Roads. The driver and an officer suffered minor injuries. The driver is now facing several charges, including dangerous driving. Advocates and business owners in the beverage industry say some new guidance for the amount of booze you should or should not be drinking could speed up changing consumer habits.
A report released earlier this month by the Canadian Centre on Substance Abuse and Addiction, funded by Health Canada, stirred up widespread attention when it said that having more than 2 drinks per week constituted a moderate health risk due to evidence linking alcohol to cancer. That was a big change from previous guidance that said men could have up to 15 drinks per week with low risk and women up to 10. Some in the drink and hospitality industry are critical of the new guidelines, although they don't dispute the need for moderation in alcohol consumption. Businesses say the new guidelines won't bring about the end of the beverage industry, but they may speed up the shift in consumer habits towards non-alcoholic cocktails that were already underway. Laurie Harris, The Canadian Press.
And a new survey of more than 1,000 Canadians who self-identify as Black finds 90% feel their employers made progress addressing anti-Black racism last year. The survey by KPMG also found about 60% feel their employers' efforts to hire more Black staffers improved, while 54% said efforts to promote more Black people into leadership roles was better, but 77% say they're concerned that a recession will hurt the career and promotion options of their Black and racialized colleagues harder than others. Still to come, traffic and your extended forecast. City News Time, 11:50.
License number 10349.
It hurts. You had big plans, but now they're crushed because the bank denied your mortgage. Don't get mad. Call Northwood Mortgage. Northwood takes a closer look at your financial